D-Butch, in the first hour, we had our first Master Week victim. Darius Slay has been cut by the Philadelphia Eagles. He was on with the Amon-Ra St. Brown brothers. Okay, the St. Brown's podcast, I believe is the name of it. Good podcast, by the way.
It is. Great podcast.
Good conversations, doesn't feel forced. Love that the brothers do. Great family, too. I've learned a lot about them from Amon-Ra's primetime games. Dad, professional bodybuilder, I do believe. This is what Darius Slay had to say to the St. Brown brothers.
This is your last year with the Eagles. How many more years you got left on your deal?
I got one more left, but you know what I'm saying? You know how that works. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so whatever they want to do, you know, I might re-sign back, hopefully. You know, if I ain't, then we'll see what we're doing, because I do want to play one more year for sure, though.
One more year? Okay.
Yeah, one more year for sure.
You like Detroit, you said, huh?
Oh, I love Detroit. I got nothing but love. That's my second home. You know what I'm saying? That's my second home. I do a lot for the city still, and to this day. A lot of guys that's from Detroit that's in the league was all kind of like hanging with me when they was little high school kids. That's what's the crazy part. A couple of my teammates, Monte Maddox, he trained with me when he was in high school. Sauce Gardner, you don't like Jordan Will Lewis. Donovan Peoples-Jones, he was with me.
Okay, yeah.
So a lot of the guys, man, that I was in Detroit with, I was coming up. I used to have like little, hey, just meet me at this field. A lot of guys show up, and a lot of them guys are dumb, and they used to come out there and work out with me. So I got a lot of love. Then I went to all the high school games, all the high school basketball games. You know, I seen what's the little kid name? That's at Cleveland. That boy can hoop. I don't know how he not playing.
What position?
Monty Baker.
Oh yeah.
I used to watch him in high school go crazy. Like I was go about, man, I ain't never seen them kids sell out the gym like he LeBron. Boy, I swear to God, he sell out the whole college stadium. They'd be sold out. Just to see him. Yeah, he was nice though. So I did a lot for the city. So. And that's why I got a lot of.
Okay, so it sounds like, shout out to the St. Brown podcast for getting that. Sounds like Darius Slay has a lot of love for Detroit. Now, obviously, Amon-Ra is one of the staples and pillars of the Lions. Darius Slay started his career with the Lions, got kicked out of town for a bag of balls, right?
100%.
Matt Patricia, friend of the program, said, get this guy the hell out of here. He goes to Philly, obviously has the success that he has. D-Butch, when it comes to Darius Slay, how do he play this year? Obviously, he's a Super Bowl champion. And would Detroit be a good fit for him, obviously, with Kelvin Shepard now, new DC up there?
When Slay was healthy, he was playing very, very good football. He's put together a great career, probably a Hall of Fame career. A lot of people's opinions. Had that big interception, I believe, against the Packers late in the season in playoffs. But the things that he was saying about being in Detroit, like I remember, I've been following him for a while. I remember he was pull up to different high school games, and that's dope to kind of see your legacy still there. So that would be a great place for him to go back and finish his story. But the Detroit Lions, they invested a lot of resources into DBs the last couple of years with Carlton Davis, Robertson bringing him over from the Raiders, drafting Terrion Arnold in the first round last year. So I'm not sure how it would fit exactly on that team, but he would fit in any scheme. He's a smart guy. He can play. He can still run. He can still make plays on the ball. And he's great in the locker room, too. Great in the locker room. And it would be great. You know, winners, you always want winners in your locker room to kind of build that culture in those meaty rooms for young DBs. So I'm excited to see wherever Slay finishes his career.
Ran into Kelvin Shepard last week at the Combine. Great to see him. Great. Feels like he's right at home at DC. You know, he is very confident, very comfortable, very happy, too. MCDC, head coach of the Lions, bobblehead right there in front of you, actually. He gave a speech about, an answer at the press conference about Kelvin Shepard 2 years ago. Started giving him more and more and more to do because they thought he was on the trajectory to become a defensive coordinator. Aaron Glenn gets a head coaching job at the Jets. Kelvin Shepard steps right in. How should that transition go for him, you think? And what should we expect from Kelvin Shepard in that D up there in Detroit?
It should be pretty smooth because it's obviously a different voice. And this is kind of, I think, what the Ravens have done for a long time. They promote within a lot. So it's easier to kind of keep that culture. You know what the standard is when you walk into that room. You know how they're going to be judged and graded, pursuing, no lacking off when it comes to running and chasing the ball, attacking the ball, getting turnovers. They just got to create more pass rush. But I think going from Aaron Glenn to Kelvin Shepard, who's been on his staff for a while now, I think it'll be a pretty smooth transition, especially with Big Hutch coming back up front.
So you guys aren't dead. I guess the Lions aren't dead.
No, we're not dead. And if we learned anything from this last season when it comes to Darius Slay, you cannot have enough depth on the defensive side of the ball, so I would love to have him back in Detroit.
A lot of injuries obviously happened to that Detroit Lions defense, and they continue to win.
I mean, I think Detroit, why not? The guy wants to be there, and listen to him talk about that. Yeah, he's Darius Slay is one of those, like the OG DBs that bring up the young guys, that help everybody, that teach them all the little things. I got to see guys like Al Harris, Charles Woodson, those kind of guys kind of pass their knowledge down to the younger dudes, and I think that is invaluable, especially at the corner and safety position.
We'll see what other teams are offering. It always comes down to offers and potential and opportunity, but the Lions are in the Super Bowl hunt. So you go with the Eagles, get a Super Bowl, maybe go back to the Lions. That'd be a great way to wrap up a career, but good luck out there, Slaymaker.
Hell yeah.